There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. My baby goes that night and stays till the morning comes. Or she drinks gin and whiskey.
Hey!
Drinks Dago Red.
Blind Pig Confessions. I don't even know what episode this is anymore. It doesn't matter.
We're over 200.
Yeah,
It's
we're
been
over 200.
we've hit over our 200 for a while now, actually.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we are
On the road.
on the road,
Up in Chesterton, Indiana, at the Chesterton Brewery.
way north,
A little bit north.
and like that's the northest we've been.
Yep. And,
No, actually, that's not true. We have been further north.
Well,
But it wasn't
Michigan,
really
but
a brewery.
Where's
Did we
that?
do a brewery? Well, yeah, we
Oh.
did. One well.
Oh, yeah, one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've been way up to.
We've been on the island.
We've been on the island, Mackinac.
Yeah.
We've been up in Mackinac, so there wasn't a brewery there, was there?
No, just a beer. Well, no. We had Beer's Brewery on there. Showcase,
Oh,
but
Beards
it
was there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
But
Chesterton?
Chesterton, yep, and Vern, the owner, is here with us. And Vern, you're not doing the brewing. Do you do craft brew yourself? Or
So
just
yeah,
okay, that's what I
brewed
thought. We
for
talked a
quite
little
some
bit.
time.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I work a full-time job, so I hired Aaron on, and he's
Okay.
been doing a fantastic job for us. He's doing really good.
was your head brewer?
He is, yes,
Okay, awesome.
and the only brewer, unless I get in the mix.
Well, thank you for having us. I met Vern at the South Bend Brew Fest, and the first beer I tried from you was the habanero mango that you have. Ryan's drinking now, and it was delicious. And I came right back up to him and introduced myself because I was like, we gotta get over there.
Oh, yeah.
I was impressed. And then I found out, and we'll talk a little bit about this more later. So, about the veterans and what you do for them. But let's talk about the brewery in Chesterton and kind of how it started for you. And
Sure. Well, I guess it started because of the veteran thing. I used to,
Okay.
traveling process engineer, and I was able to bring on veterans right out of the service, right? I'd interview them, see how they did, and give them a job, and give them a trade, and they'd make a good wage. And
Right.
after a year, and then send them on their way. Well, when I traveled up here to Northwest Indiana, that kind of fell by the wayside. I couldn't do that anymore. So this is my way to kind of give back.
get back.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we searched for a building. That took a little bit over a year, my girlfriend and I, and we just we finally landed on this one.
That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I like the 2-level thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a very big but still kind of cozy because I like the brick
Yeah.
and everything too.
Yeah, it's got
so.
a neat industrial feel to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so Laura and I started on this September of 18. We both work full-time jobs, so come here after work and work some more, but drink beer.
Oh, yeah.
But the community support, people stopping in and helping us, has been tremendous. And so we always tried to
cool.
have beer homebrew on for them as well.
Right.
And people, it was amazing the support we got from the community.
That's
And,
awesome.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to open up in September of 19.
Right. I mean, that's quick. I mean,
That
that's
is very
you hear about
quick.
some breweries going through years of startup and red tape and getting setbacks, and that's really a quick start for you. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like we did all right compared to a bunch of other people.
Yeah, definitely. But which is good. Then that's
Oh, absolutely.
Getting
get
food.
some curds.
Got some Cajun fries.
They don't only have beer. They do have some
Spectacular.
good food.
Yeah, Vern's taking care of us all. It's been pretty awesome. Thanks, man. So, were you? I guess you were you brewing on the side, and then this just came.
Yeah.
I mean, you were doing a home brew and just
Yeah,
brew club. I mean, were you in any of the
exactly.
brew clubs and all that?
I attended Jeff's brew club there. It's Brew House Supplies down in Valpo.
Okay.
Super nice people. I mean, they really make you feel welcome. You got problems, you could take it in there. And nobody, points the finger at you or makes fun there. Everybody's super, super helped. And
Right.
great club down there.
Well,
Jeff
they'll give you
Blade.
they'll make fun of you, but it's in a good way. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
right.
Gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, how did you honestly burn that? You have to know how to boil water if you're at least going to brew beer.
That's correct.
I hope so.
And I specialize in water and toast.
There you go. I can brew this water. Awesome. Now you throw something else in it, and I'll just watch it boil more. That's pretty much all I do when we started some of our home brew is I'm the guy watching the pot boil. They're out.
'Cause you've
they're
got the
playing
OCD,
around.
so we
well,
know
I
you
have the
do the best-
OCD, so
yeah.
I'm, we're using propane, and so I'm constantly just doing this. I'm watching it, and then someone will come by and stir it, and I'm like, "What are you doing? The temperature just spiked 40 degrees. What's happening?"
I was fortunate that my girlfriend she has a huge garage, so I could set up in there and
Nice.
things were No more boil overs in the kitchen.
Do you remember your first? Do you remember what you brewed first?
Oh my God, it was awful.
Well,
yeah.
The
So
extract kit, I'm sure, as we all start with an extract.
Oh yeah.
when I was
Everybody.
22, my mom bought me the Mr. Beer
Beer?
kit.
Hey, Mr. Beer kit.
Yeah. If you was on a deserted island for 10 years and never had beer, you would not drink that beer. It was, it was awful. Yeah.
I'll just have a glass of salt water, please.
Yeah.
Well, we had someone else on. I can't remember what show it was. Oh, it was from Primeval. And he said his first one, I think he burnt it down to like a syrup, basically. It
syrup,
boiled it down so far. It was like, it was basically caramel.
Right.
He made
his own extract.
He made candy. He was making beer candy because he did it so bad. And he was an
Wasn't that
engineer.
But there's a science behind it.
There is.
Oh, there definitely is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there really is. And it's, it's recipes, but there's a lot to it. Like, people don't realize that what goes into making a beer until they do it themselves.
Yeah, and I put it towards baking. When you bake, you have to be spot on. It's
Right.
not like, well, maybe a little bit of this,
You can't.
a
It's
little bit
not
of that.
cooking where you can throw stuff together.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to.
It can't. It is for the. I think it is for the first one, because you're experimenting. But if you want a repeatable product, yeah, you've got to narrow.
Oh, yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
nail that in.
Very
yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
I like the experimentation of trying to brew a new beer, and then and then I like the precision of trying to hone in.
Yeah,
to make
dial it
it
in.
repeatable.
Yeah.
That's my OCD.
Absolutely.
I let them kind of just throw stuff in, and I'm trying to keep track of it. I'm going, okay, that one came out good. Now let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
So awesome. So when did you start again? You start brewing, you said?
Well, I started when I was 22.
Okay. Had you been keeping up with keeping a track of your any recipes and things you had done over the time?
No, I do have quite a bit of recipes, but no, some of that was lost. Just through general life occurrences.
Well, of course.
Right?
Dinner.
But then I took a hiatus there and, concentrated more on work.
Sure.
And then kind of got back into it. And
So at 21, what was your beer of choice? What was the commercial beers you were drinking before you got into craft? Or was craft your first? I mean, some people we've had now, it's craft beer first, which is odd. But
yeah, so that would have been Genesee. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Genesee.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could steal out of my dad's kegerator because he had nothing else. So that was definitely the beer of choice because it was free.
Because I had to, yeah.
Yeah.
Genesee beer.
Yeah, Genesee beer. Yeah, it's out of, they have one brewery up in, Rochester, New York, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was only available in a three state, but now they're expanding a little bit, I guess. But I don't believe it's craft beer by any means.
Oh, yeah, definitely never heard of that.
Introduced 125 years.
Wow.
That makes them pretty damn close to like PBR and
PBR, yeah.
and or Yingling, isn't it? I mean,
Close, but Yingling's still.
Yeah.
But yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so in Ohio, you can get a 30-pack for approximately $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to dial you in there.
It's the Olympia Gold.
Yeah.
The Schlitz of its area.
Right, keeps
of
you
its
regular.
area. Lots of fiber in it.
There's nothing wrong with that. You need that. Still gotta have my PBR to clean out.
Well, yeah, I still go back to the occasional regular, macro beer.
yeah,
Sometimes
every
it's,
now and again.
it's a night. I gotta go out. I'm not looking to get drunk. I'm looking to have a long-term
Right, yeah,
night,
yep,
not,
yep.
get
Right.
completely plastered off
Yep.
8%ers all, in the first 2 hours. I got 12 hours to go.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I guess my beer of choice would definitely be stouts. I'm a
That's what
stout
I'm
guy.
Yeah, okay,
right?
good.
I swing the gamut. I am stouts, but then I swing all the way over to sours.
Oh, nice.
My middle of the road IPA is not my thing, but I hit both ends.
Yeah.
So does
Oh yeah, I do
Dougie.
too. I didn't think I would like sours. I do love a good sour, but and there's far and few between. There's some really bad ones out there, but yeah, I love stouts and porters. And are you more of a traditionalist, or do you like some of the there's some crazy stuff out there?
No,
with stouts.
we'll definitely do some crazy stuff. We just released our Wreck-'em Beckham,
Wreck-'em
which
Beckham.
is named after one of the people in here, a Vietnam vet that has helped us out since day one.
Really?
But it's a big beer, 12.5%.
Oh, wow. Oh, good Lord.
6 dozen donuts per barrel. So it's yeah. So no, what tastes good? That's where we
Right.
want to go.
Right.
Sure.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I like New England IPAs. I like regular IPAs, West Coast IPAs.
You're in Indiana. If Cowboy were here, he'd get on you. They're northeastern IPAs. You're from Indiana. You can't like anything New England. You can't call anything New England. Remember.
Understood.
He's on a mission to change.
He
this
is.
whole-
He couldn't be here today. I got called into work on the last minute. With bummer. But yeah, he is on a mission to change it to northeastern IPA.
Driving a movement. Then,
He is.
right?
He is. We're helping you out, Cowboy. We're trying.
Yeah, we're doing what we can. Well, it's just in honor of him because he's not here.
Now, do you guys do any canning or anything like that yet, or just strictly?
No, we have
okay.
crowlers. You
Okay,
can
good.
get a crowler to go. When we blew our budget opening up, as everybody else does
Mm-hmm.
as well, that really hit us on our brew house money. But you know what? With the community support, it won't be long, and we'll be running some cans out.
Good,
That's
good deal.
awesome.
Yes.
I think I mean, I do love the, like you said earlier. It's a big, but the brick, it does keep everything in and cozy. It's a very cool place. Obviously, are you doing? Do you have a chef that prepare? Are you doing any kind of beer pairings, anything like that, or?
No beer
Just,
pairings to speak of. We rotate a lot of beers, so we try to keep something fresh on all the time, something new,
Right.
Because people seem to really like that. We have some staples,
Sure.
but yeah, we're constantly turning over a new beer.
What are your What are your staple house beers?
Say the Logan
Basically.
Strong, our
Okay.
only non-military beer named. All our beers eventually get a named after a vet of some sort. This
Nice.
one is not. So the Logan Strong are Willie Mike, named after a veteran. That's a IPA. The Thorstad, that's a amber ale named after Staff Sergeant Thorstad, who died in the Beirut bombings, Marine Corps, from Chesterton.
Okay.
So I'd have to say those. would
Okay.
be our-
All right. Well, yeah, because every brewery's got their staples because a lot of people, even though they like craft, still want to come in and get the same
Oh, yeah,
thing every
absolutely.
time.
Yep.
They're adventurous, but not. Yes. Sometimes. So you got to have your house beer. You got to have your house beers.
Adventurous yet repeatable.
Yes. There you go.
You remember talking about the home brewers, and you give like to showcase some home brewers, and we actually met kind of a celebrity earlier before the show started, Larry from Beer and Barbecue, right?
Beer and
And
barbecue
Larry-
with
yeah,
Larry.
beer and barbecue
he's
by
actually
Larry.
going to jump on a little bit, and he wants to talk about. He's expert at home brew that you guys actually did here, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was a wit beer that I reached out to Larry because he's so kind with everything he does on YouTube. He gives people Excel sheets, passes out recipes, so super helpful how-tos, and he shares all that knowledge. And he also does reviews, and you can tell they're actually from the heart. If he doesn't like something, he's going to let you know. So Larry's also a veteran, so he does barbecue. We're a big barbecue place. So I just thought it'd be great to have him down and let's do a little collaboration together.
Yeah.
And we brewed beer, and that was 2 weeks ago, and then it was ready today. And
Awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to trying it later. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Man, my brain turned off.
no.
Yeah, forgive me. You keep going. I got so many things going on in my brain. I'm eating cheese curds. I'm drinking beer right now.
What's
What are we drinking right now? Let's go over what we're drinking right now.
It's delicious.
Because we'll get into some samples a little bit later after probably our first commercial break.
okay, so let's see, we got a raspberry tart right now.
Yes. Where'd
So-
this one come up from? Whose recipe is this?
That they're all my recipes.
They all are yours.
Yes.
Not, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we just come up with this guy to see. To be honest with you, it's not my favorite beer, and I'll tell our customers that what I like and what I don't like, and the customers will tell me what they like. And I brew beer yet today, and I'll think it's not worthy of coming out. So what I'll do, I'll get our Mug Club members, and I'll line them all up with a beer, and they'll give me their honest opinion, and then we either keep it or we dump it.
I was going to say, have you had some that you didn't care for that the customers have said?
Oh,
hey,
absolutely.
man,
It
this
happens
is
a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
The one we're drinking right now, he just said.
Yeah, but it happens quite a bit. They, and they'll tell me, no, Vern, you need to keep this on. So we'll leave it on, and then we make it
That's
available
cool.
to everybody.
That's
You
really neat.
brew on a small batch system first, and for that kind of thing, and then to do your kind of sampling, and then larger, so you don't have to toss out.
So that's just the thing. So because we overran our budget, we was destitute basically on opening up. So we can only afford a Blickman 1 barrel to
Oh,
get
wow.
started.
So you're brewing constantly.
every day. So whether you like to or not, because brewing's fun, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes every day.
Yeah. The brewing part's great. It's
Yeah.
the cleaning part afterwards that everyone hates.
Yeah, that's
That's
very
when
true.
you need to find interns.
Yeah, but we got Aaron. I'm going to tell you what, Aaron does an amazing job. He's a good kid. He's happy. He's fresh out of college with his chemistry degree, and he's banging on my door. We were still in demo, and he was wanting a job, and he came back so many times I couldn't help but not hire him. And then I had him brewing my recipes for the people that was helping out here volunteering in the
Sure.
brewery.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's
Very
good
cool.
stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, we was doing that on a grain father, 5
We
gallons
have-
at a time.
We have one of those in the garage. We have to get ourselves back to getting along. I just bought a house, so I've got it all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, it's funny. Some people kind of snub their noses at that, but it's a great system, and
it's a nice
still
little
a craft.
system.
Absolutely.
It just makes things a little bit
It's
easier.
not
for you
Mr. Beer. It's not a Mr.
Right,
Beer kit.
Right.
Right.
It's just
still
helps-
your recipes
it's-
and it's your. I mean,
yeah, and it's a little compact. I don't
Right.
have to have, 3 different, kettles going and all
Yeah.
this extra equipment and stuff. It's a nice little compact
really is, yeah.
experimental system.
Yeah. And we get people in here, home brewers that are just starting off asking questions, and then some people are kind of I don't know, they're embarrassed on what they have to brew with, and I tell them, don't be.
Who cares?
Don't
Yeah.
be. Believe me, it's going to grow, and your wallet's going to shrink in size.
Of course.
Don't worry about it. You love what
your
you're
belly
doing.
will grow.
Yeah.
Hobbies rarely make you money.
Right. Yeah. Very true. Yeah, but we welcome everybody. You come in, you got questions, come on in and ask us.
That's
and
awesome.
we'll help you
Yeah,
out.
who cares if you got a kettle on the stove? It's
Yeah, it
it's still
doesn't-
brewing beer. Try it. Yeah, extract kits aren't going to taste the best, but they're a good place to
It's
start.
a good place to
Yeah.
start. Who cares?
And you'll
is
grow
it-
for that?
Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, you're not selling extract beers.
And you may find out I don't have the patience for this, and I mean there's a
Absolutely.
lot of patience involved in
Yep.
brewing beer like anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, so
And dedication, the time, right?
absolutely, yeah.
And the
Yep.
cleaning. I mean, we ended up stopping brewing our stuff for a while because we got massive infection, and we ended up because we had 2 of the plastic conical fermenters. We had to all go bye. Everything just got infected.
We made a sour stout.
We made a sour stout, yes. It wasn't really planned.
So wait, the saying in the beer industry is it's not if you'll get an infection, it's when you'll get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you going to handle it? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we did have one batch get infected here.
Oh, no.
Had to dump it. So far, I believe we're 2 batches dumped in 6 months. So
Well, that's still not bad.
yeah. So figure
And you're only
things
one
out.
barrel in it right now, so it's not.
Right. Yeah, it's not a huge financial hit, right?
A little bit of water, some grain, some time. But yeah, you're not dumping 20 barrels of.
Yeah,
holy
that
crap.
would be awful, right?
What's your outlook on Chesterton Brewery and you talk about Cannon? Is that kind of what are you looking at for future goals and?
As far as operational wise, we'd like to get. We're in a couple bars right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're at Elements Wine Bar in Valpo, and we had some beers on at Bare Bones over there, who's owned by Burnham. Yeah, we got some beers on in the area. I'm excited for people to come in here and try our beers.
Yeah.
However, if somebody wants our beers, we'll gladly put them on. In the future, when we get a little bit bigger system, hopefully 3 or 4 months, we got our 10-barrel system ready.
Nice.
Then we'll definitely have to get some out the door, right?
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
of refrigeration space and stuff like that. But I'd like to can, and
No.
as long as it's enjoyable.
Yeah, and it sounds you kind of want to grow at Chesterton, and I mean you obviously made this home here, and
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
So, God, my brain shut down again. Jesus, I had a perfect question that was leading into something, and now I can't. I literally, because I went and looked, I was trying to look at the news, but I'm going to switch over to a little bit. So, from the veterans thing, you guys give back, is it part of your proceeds or something? I'll go back to
Yes.
other veterans services, because you were a Marine, right?
I am a Marine.
Okay,
Well-
sorry. I didn't know if, you said you have a full-time job, but then I didn't know if you were,
So it's
in
once
reserves
a
or
Marine,
retired.
always a Marine.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. Whether you're active or
Gotcha.
retired, yeah, you're always a Marine.
You were an active. You were not an act. Oop, he lost his headphones.
Oh,
You're not. Are you still active at all, or
No,
reserve?
not,
Is there a
no,
reserve?
not active. I was 90 to 94.
Okay.
And then I was honorably discharged. And,
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, and I my career in the Marine Corps is pretty much, mobile power generation is still what I am privy in today, and that's what
Okay.
I'm rolling with. So.
very
But
cool.
you give back to which charity? Do you have certain?
Every month we pick a new one.
Okay.
So this month is what we call Operation Blackbeard. So Staff Sergeant Pacino up here is U.S. Army Special Forces Green Beret. He was over in the sandbox, and his four-wheeler ran over an IED.
Oh.
And sad to say, he's no longer with us. However, his family put together this nonprofit charity, this organization. They're 100% in, 100% out.
Wow.
So that's a big deal for us. If you come to us with your nonprofit veteran-based charity, and you have 60% of overhead and staff or something, we just throw it right in the trash.
Yeah.
But so far, we've been fortunate. Everybody's been almost all the money makes it back to the veterans. So we pick a new one every month. Just so happens to be next month is Indiana Fallen Heroes.
Okay.
Super excited about theirs. They carry the play cards in the parades and stuff.
Right.
there's 150 Indiana fallen soldiers who yet to have a plaque. So they're $15 each. We're hoping to raise the rest of that money for them
cool.
and make sure every fallen hero has a plaque.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Speaking of plaques, too, as I look around the bar, I haven't gone to. A lot of your chairs have some plaques on the back of them.
Yes, that's correct.
What are those for?
So, I had a young lady stop in here, Barb, and she said, Vern, I'd be honored if I could put my dad's name on one of your bar stools. She said, what will that cost me? And I said, nothing. You put it on there. She's like, I don't think you understand. That's not how this is going to work. See? So, she kind of set the rules, and so they're $150 each.
Okay.
You sponsor that chair. That's pretty much your chair. And we also do tables. These live edge cherry tables. Those are big plaques that go in there.
Awesome.
And so we're starting to get those built up now.
Yeah, I like your tables. I saw you've got the Chesterton burned into the wood.
Yeah,
on
right.
Your tables. It's real, like I said, it's industrial, but there's enough brick and wood and stuff to
keep it
take
homey.
it down from being a warehouse.
Right.
You know, I think that's what that really helps a lot of breweries. You know, you got to have a nice cozy space because then people stay longer, obviously, and it doesn't feel so antiseptic or that kind
Absolutely.
of thing.
Yep.
So-
Want the beer to be sterile, but not the
the brewing equipment should be sterile, but not
now you're
the
drinking it.
and it shouldn't taste like it either.
Yeah.
I remember my question now. Guest taps. Are you guys able to? I know there's different licenses. Are you able to do guest taps?
We do. We have a 3-way license.
That's what it is.
So we can bring in guest taps.
Okay.
However, all 16 are ours right
Currently,
now.
yeah.
We will be bumped up to 24.
Nice.
I saw that. I saw a whole bunch of
But we're not some pretentious brewery. If you come with, say, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whatever, your friend
Sure.
in general, we serve Miller Lite as well. Because what was happening is the guy or the gal that loved craft beer would come in and there would be nothing for the other person to drink, and then they're one beer and they're out the door.
Right.
So we have wine, we have liquor, try to accommodate everybody.
And sometimes you can convert those people.
Absolutely.
Coming in for a Miller Lite, but then I'll try that one.
That's very
And
true. It
so,
happens quite a bit
I
in here
bet,
too.
yeah.
So we start them off with something easy. We have our transition beer, which is a blonde ale. And people will taste it. And that ain't half bad.
Nope.
Yep.
And then they want to be part of the mug club. And
Yeah.
then from there, they're always drinking the transition. And then they'll hear Fred or Sally say,
Yep.
"Boy, that raspberry something or another was pretty good." And they'll say,
I'll
"Man,
try
can I
it."
get a taste of that?" And then they slowly transition. And the next thing you know, they're drinking double IPAs.
Yep.
So
It's like being a dealer. I mean,
at the Blue Chip, right? Yeah.
Well, that's a good transition. So let's take a quick break and then take a quick
Grab
five, and
some
we'll come back
samples?
in, get some samples to talk about the beer and the mug club and all that kind of stuff, and let's dig into some of these brews.
cheers.
Sounds
Perfect.
awesome.
Cheers.
If you're a craft beer guy who can't get it nearby, do yourself a favor and log into Taver.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Blind Pig Confessions. I am Kevin Furtick Realty with Remax Legends Group. And you can reach me at 317-869-7646 or at Gmail at kevinfurtickrealtor@gmail.com. If you have Facebook, hey, Kevin Furtick Realty. If you have Twitter, the Kevin Furtick. If you have Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, one more thing, the Kevin Furtick. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to be your realtor, and I would love to be able to raise your hand and say, the champ is home.
This is Ron Smith, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
Hey, back at the Chesterton Brewery, and kind of cool. We're sitting around here today, and there happened to be kind of a celebrity in the place.
A fellow beer fellow beer nerd.
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
definitely.
would that work?
Yes, that would be apt, I suppose. Yeah. My name's Larry. I have a YouTube channel called Barbecue. Actually, it's Beer in Barbecue by Larry, and I've been doing it since about 2012. Been making videos. I have about 220 something videos out there. About 58,000 subscribers.
Wow.
About 7 million views on videos. I'm probably like the second largest YouTube BrewTuber out there after CraigTube. Yeah.
He's bigger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just happened to be here actually shooting a video already.
Right.
In fact, we're here to do a follow-up video. The original video was a couple of weeks back when we were here to brew a batch of one of my recipes called Larry Garden, which is a play upon my name Larry and Hoe Garden, because we brewed a wit beer.
Basic. Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's what we're drinking. Well, not right this minute here, I think. Are we? Or
I've
And,
been drinking it.
Yeah, I just sipped, and it's actually
It's
absolutely
spectacular.
delicious.
There's some banana there, and it's got a lot of good body to it. It's very nice and cloudy. I actually kind of like it nice and cloudy.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
spectacular.
This is the summertime beer. I think the wits are, just amazing. But this is, it's really nice. I like the hazy too. I like the cloudiness.
Yeah, and it's a good recipe. I got a video or 2 videos on how to do this on my channel years ago. And the owner here, one of the owners, Vern, which you guys have talked to here probably, all right? He invited us out here because I'm also, this whole point of this brew pub is that it's veterans brewing for veterans, and I also am also a veteran like Vern.
Amen.
So,
there you go.
So that's how we got together, and a couple of weeks back we brewed this batch of beer, and I designed the recipe on a 5-gallon batch system like any other home brewer.
Of course.
And he scaled it up to his 1-barrel Blickman system here in the back. If you guys have been back there to see it, but
Oh yeah. Everybody loves a Blickman.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're here today to taste the beer, and he just tapped it here today. So this is fresh out of the keg. They just tapped this beer. So.
Yeah, it was perfect time for us to get here and have Larry here, and this is absolutely delicious. I love it.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
great.
like I
A
said,
little bit of banana
it's
and-
and if it's my palate. I don't know, but it's like a little banana. I get a little I don't know if I get just a little citrusy tang or something there, but it's also got the body of the wit beer for it. It's spectacular. I mean, it's everything it should be.
Well, cheers.
How's your? Where'd you come up with the rest? I mean, how many times did it take you to get it right to where you thought you could actually bring it here and brew and upscale it?
Well,
How many times did you try this?
more than I can count. I started brewing back in 2000, and one of my motivations was the Belgian wit beer style.
Nice.
So I've been working on this recipe for the better part of a decade before I started zeroing in on it.
Oh, wow.
And I was targeting like a whole garden clone,
Sure.
hence my play on the name of the title. I call it a Larry Garden, and whole
Yep.
garden. And so I've done my research. I've done some legwork, iterations, variations of ingredients, ratios,
Sure.
and things like that. Just like anybody else who does
Right.
this stuff.
So what got you brewing, and then going to the next step to actually starting filming yourself, and what was that transition like?
Well, actually, it wasn't brewing that actually originally got me onto the circuit, on the YouTube circuit at least. I actually was part of a forum for cooks for outdoor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a website called KamadoGuru.com. And,
Okay.
And a Kamado, if you guys know or don't know what that is, that's
The ceramic. It's like the. It's a different brand of the big green egg kind of style.
Yeah,
The ceramic one.
Style.
Yeah.
It's like the round ceramic cookers, and I got several of them now. But
Nice.
But back about 2012, I got rid of my offset smokers and my Webbers and all these other grills, and switched to Kamado and never looked back. And I started sharing my video experiences with other forum members of that forum, and I got kind of a small following for the food side. But then.
Right.
Then just I don't know why, but I decided, well, I do more than cook. I like to brew, and I started doing a couple of videos on just high level. Hey, man, I also brew, and here's the general process, and it took off from there. And I realized that there was a bigger following of fanatics or fanboys, I don't know, of home brewing than there is food. And it's a smaller niche, too. There's a gazillion people out there doing, like, food videos. A lot of people, more than they probably should be, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Because the quality is not great across the board. But I started focusing on the beer, and then I realized that there was a commonality, a crossover between the fans. Like, so the cooks that were my subscribers were interested in brewing. I got them into brewing. People that came to my channel for the brewing started doing cooking. So now I kind of have this hybrid channel of beer and barbecue. And
Perfect.
No, it's perfect. Yeah. It's that creative nature too, though. If you're really into cooking and things like Dougie Fresh is, and Dougie's into cooking. It's just it's not a big leap to go over to brewing beer. It's
No,
still,
they go together
It's
so
still
well, especially
recipe.
craft.
It's a pinch of this. It's a pinch of that, and making something unique to what you can do.
And it's a labor of love. You make it food and the drink the way you want it. I also make wines and ciders and meads and other things too besides beer. I mean, I like to do things from scratch, including food and drink.
Are you all self-taught? Did you have any gurus that you started when you were starting to brew, or I mean,
I had a neighbor 20 years ago when I moved to my neighborhood. He took me under his wing and showed me how to make the way beer he makes it with an extract kit.
Yeah.
And I kind of just took it from there and went on my own and like went rogue basically. And it wasn't until I started doing YouTube videos. I was kind of not a loner, but I kind of just did my own thing. I didn't participate in local homebrew clubs. I just wasn't. I just didn't know if it was a long-term hobby. I just kind of experimented and dabbled with it.
Right.
And then sort of because of this whole YouTube thing, I started sharing what I did, and it was like an eye-opening experience. I had no idea how many people were so enthusiastic about this hobby. I could have been involved sooner than that. But,
Yeah, you're like, I could have been making money.
yeah, well, there's
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We're right there with you.
No doubt.
I mean, this is our labor of love.
Yeah.
I mean, we just run around the state and other states and just, happy to hang out with people who like the same thing, and we like to try their beers and see what they say. And we try a little bit of brewing of our own. We've been off and on here. We got some more coming up hopefully soon.
Yeah.
We've had a beer brewed by one
Redemption
of the
Ale
breweries, by
Works
Redemption
and-
Ale
yep.
Works down in Indy for a while there, and then we're working on some more hopefully soon.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we work for a living, so it's hard to brewing something. It's something you do have to have the dedication to do it. You just have to, and right now we don't have the time to do it full time. We'd love to, but
I commiserate. I got a full-time day job too, and I'm doing this YouTube channel at nights and weekends, and it's like an extra job basically from all the time required.
But it's fun.
Yep. Yeah,
It's fun.
Well, that's
Oh,
why I
it
do
is.
it. It's
It
fun.
is.
It's still great to go out and meet people and chat with the people and
Yeah.
and learn some stuff from them, and hopefully they might learn something from us.
Just some of the greatest people in the industry, and I think in the craft industry, and just open and working with each other, and it's just a great.
Yeah. Sorry, good.
I just say it's just a great network of people that we've met.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the camaraderie aspect of this hobby was until
right.
I started doing videos and sharing my work out with others, and got reciprocated in kind by
Right.
people sharing theirs with me.
And we expanded our stuff out too to craft foods and local people doing local distilleries. We started off with just beer, basically, and then we were like, well, can't really have just beer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
And then
have
we were
food
sitting in a
and-
house drinking, like, well, this is silly. Who wants to listen to a couple of guys sitting around their house,
Yeah,
just
we-
drinking beer and bullshit, So like,
Yeah.
let's take this.
We thought it was kind of crazy too that people would actually.
but
that
it
people
blew up
listen.
quick, and yeah. I
Like-
mean, that first summer, I think we couldn't even keep up with the festivals. Then we started getting, it's like we had to slow down. We try to do more charity-based stuff now because we get asked to do every. There's a festival now, 2 days. Every Friday, Saturday. It seems like there's a festival now in Indy, and
Yeah, there's at least
couldn't
2
keep up.
festivals a weekend now.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's a little heavy now.
yeah.
Well, that's great to hear.
Oh yeah. Have you do go to any? Were you at the South Bend Brew Fest? Do you
No.
guys go to? Do you go to any of the brew fests? or
Well,
anything?
I'm from Illinois,
okay.
northwest suburban Chicagoland. So, I got family here in Indiana. I might actually move in Indiana in the future too. But no, because I'm in Illinois, I don't attend a whole lot of Indiana functions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe some stuff around northwest Indiana, Crown Point,
Yeah.
Three Floyds kind of things, and
Yeah.
Munster, those kind of things
Yep.
I do. But
Yeah, they make a couple good beers.
I mean, do you film? Do you take your show on the road to like any of the brew fests? Not even just Indiana, but I didn't know. I know we met Vernon at the South Bend Brew Fest,
Yeah.
or Dougie did, so I wasn't sure if you were at that one too or not.
Slowly starting to expand. I mean, I've done some charity work. I've done some charity auction stuff in the past where I've offered free brew days for the highest bidders to raise funds and stuff like that.
Cool.
This thing with Vern here at this place we're at today is kind of inspiring with the whole Vets for Vets kind of fundraising
Yep.
thing. I think that's really cool.
Yep.
So my gears are starting to turn in my head as to what I can do
Yeah.
along
Oh,
those
yeah.
lines. I haven't much thought about pairing my interests, personal interests, hobbies, and things with like charity and stuff.
Right.
And then as far as getting out and about, going to festivals, things like that, actually that's something I got to start thinking about a bit more too. I'm just expanding my mind as I go about this whole journey, really.
Right.
Sure.
And you guys spending a lot of time brewing, so you don't
Yeah.
have a lot of extra
Well,
time.
that's just it, right? So yeah, right.
Somebody's
So-
got to watch the beer.
Right. So
Now,
like, yeah.
are your episodes coming out? Is this like a weekly thing, monthly, or just kind of?
Well, it's kind of ad hoc because,
okay.
like we mentioned a little while ago, we got day jobs, we got
Yeah,
families
right.
and things, right? So there was a time I was putting out a video about once a week, but that will burn you out
It's
real
tough,
quick.
yeah.
I mean, I tell people, they say, oh, it looks so easy on video. You make it look so easy. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the point, is to make it look easy. But I estimate for about every minute of final video, there's hours of work behind the scenes to like film and plan.
Well, that's what I was going to ask for you. I mean, because we would occasionally do. We had one of the pigs. He would take some small videos, and he just kind of more slideshow stuff together of what we're doing, but not full on filming the whole show. How much time do you spend editing a show? I mean, is that because that's the part that scares me about trying to take this on a video side? Is audio editing is a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you spend, like, for one show, I mean, how much editing do you do?
It's pretty heavy. I've been trying to find ways to shortcut it, but when I shortcut it, I usually pay the price in terms of, like, the lack of views and interest. So it's kind of a trade-off. I've been trying to come up with, like, different formats and styles where one would be like a spontaneous vlog where I just talk to the camera with my cell phone.
Gotcha.
But those don't do so well long term, and I try to do like the big pieces that are well produced, and that requires you to research your camera angles and lighting.
Right.
And you got to storyboard everything ahead of time, make sure you get all the shots that you want, and then you got to do all the post-production, look for music that's royalty-free, for example, right? There's a whole lot of back-end stuff to this that the people who don't do this don't understand. And they say, oh, why don't you put out more videos sooner? Well, it's because of these things that get in the way. So spend nights and evenings trying to get this done, and every video I put out, I'm a slightly bit of a perfectionist. I don't want to just put crap out. I want to make sure it's the best effort I can make with what I've got.
That's why they don't let me edit. I have OCD, and the show wouldn't get out for like 4 weeks. I'd never be able to air it.
It'd be about 3 minutes long. Well, at least you don't have any, it's you can do it when you want to, so you don't have any, restrictions that when you're trying to get stuff out, you can do it at your own pace.
Well, that's right.
Nice.
That's right. And that's what keeps me going, because those YouTubers, and you'll see this, and I have seen this, for those brew tubers especially, but anybody doing YouTube, they'll follow this advice of like having regular posts. Every Tuesday and Friday, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll have a video out. People will do that for a year or maybe 2 years, and they're gone.
Right.
I mean, they're burned out. They never make another video again, and I'm trying to keep myself from becoming burned out. And so I do it. If I'm inspired, I'll make a video. I'll make 2 sooner than later. And if I'm not inspired, I won't make any videos. I just don't want to put out stuff for the sake of stuff. Not quantity. I'm more for quality.
Yep.
We kind of pushed back because we were doing weekly, and ours is about every 2 weeks now. Just because we needed to, everybody else, other people got different jobs, and you just had to concentrate. Life gets in the way a little bit, but we did the same thing so as not to try to burn ourselves out, trying to throw something out there, or trying to find all the old shows we really couldn't air before, and maybe trying to edit them down, and they were just like, no, we'll just kind of back off a little bit.
But it's working well. And it's
doing
more
great.
laid back, and it's nice.
I'm almost done with my beer.
Larry, thanks for coming on, man. I'm glad we met you here, because this is awesome. Thank you for the beer. This really was an amazing beer.
It is. Spectacular.
Well, cheers.
Yes,
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Absolutely.
Come on
Nice
around.
to meet you. We'll take a look at the Beer and Barbecue by Larry on YouTube. And the Blind Pigs are on YouTube, too, but it's all strictly audio.
All right. Well, thank you all for having me on.
Go subscribe anyways. Subscribe to both of us.
Yep. See you all. Thank
All
you.
right, cheers.
Bye.
Blind Pig Confessions is the greatest podcast there ever was. My name is Dave Smiley from WZPL, and if you don't listen to this show, you're dumb.
Hey!
That's what we're doing.
We are back again. We're still here. We always say back in, but we're still here. Still at Chesterton Brewing in Chesterton, Indiana. And, of course, Vern, again, thank you for having us here, man.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you in.
We actually did a quick segment just a minute ago with Larry from Beers and Barbecue. That was awesome. We had his beer. What was the name of the beer? It was the Larry
Garden.
Larry Garden, yeah. That was really good.
It was very good, very good. Hogarden, basically inspired off of Hogarden,
right?
Which I've been keeping a couple of those bottles in. There's a Trader Joe's by me, and so they keep Hogarden on the shelves. So I always grab a couple Hogardens. They're good ones to have around.
Yeah.
It was a great beer.
It was delicious.
Chamomile tea in that one.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Because it had a dry finish to it, and I wasn't really sure what was kicking the dry, whether it was the hops or maybe the tea.
He couldn't remember the hop in it, though. Do you remember what the hop you guys used in that? He thought maybe a set, but he wasn't. He wasn't positive.
See if I can look it up, but
we're good.
Okay.
I just
wondered because it was a unique. It had that big juicy punch, but I liked that dry finish on it, and I don't know if it was the chamomile or the hop that was in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was Larry's recipe though, and we loved having him down here. He's a good time, vet, and lives up in Chicago and does his home brewing network, and he's a great person.
Yeah,
really
very cool. Yeah.
Well, you're a vet too, right?
What's that?
You're a vet.
Oh, well, thank you for your service, Doug.
Absolutely.
What was you in?
I was a squid.
Okay.
Yep.
Anchor clanker. That's my dad calls him. My uncle was a squid too, though. So
we're a unique bunch.
My dad was Army. My uncle was in subs.
Was he?
Yeah. So
very good.
It takes a special individual to be able to handle a sub. That's some.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some. Nope. And my uncle was a special individual.
I had my last tour. We had an admiral. I think it was like close to 40 years. He was getting out, and the only thing he hadn't been on was a submarine. And so all he was going to do was go to the diving point. He said, "There's no way you guys I'm going underwater." He goes, "But I'll go to the diving point, then the Coast Guard is going to take him off." He just wanted to do that before he was retiring. He'd never been on a submarine, and he got down the first level of the sub, and said, "Nope." Wouldn't even ride. He goes, "I don't know how you guys do it," because to us it's huge that they open, get on the first, it's around before the engine room, and he was like, went right back up. I said, I've been on one. I can say I was on one, and now there's no way I'm going anywhere on this thing.
You're not putting me in a giant metal tube under the water.
Yeah, well, he wasn't going to go under. He's just going to go to the diving point. But he was like, there's no way I'm getting. He goes, just claustrophobic, I guess. And he said, no, I've been on one, and I can say that.
Just a smidge tighter than like an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so it's beer sampling time.
Yes,
I think we're going to run through some beers here, hopefully. There's a lot in front of us. Awesome.
Some delicious ones. I think start with a little light, the strawberry blonde. It's kind of one of your openers, right?
That's correct. Yeah,
we did have the Bob earlier. The Bob, that was
Bob Mitchell.
The Bob Mitchell, which was delish. That was a great starting. And again, that's probably one of your crossovers of someone coming and drinking a Miller Lite and then saying, "Try this."
That's exactly correct. Bob Mitchell was a veteran, just passed away 2 days ago. So we wanted to make sure and get this out in his honor. And
awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with strawberry blonde first. You said. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, is this one named after
Bob Mitchell?
Okay. He only told me strawberry blonde. So
I'm sorry.
No, not you. No, I was Doug. You said
this is a strawberry blonde.
This is the strawberry blonde.
Yeah.
This is not Bob Mitchell's beer. We had that prior.
That was when we had.
Is this just called strawberry blonde?
Strawberry blonde. So it's not named after a veteran yet.
Okay.
We reserved that, so we have very generic names until we run across. And if it's a younger person, we want to vet that out with his parents and make sure they're okay with that.
Absolutely.
I thought maybe the vet's name was Strawberry, so that's because you had said the only one I think you didn't have right now was the
Blackbeard.
Yeah, the Blackbeard.
Yeah. So that's a blackberry stout, and that's for the foundation of the month, the charity of the month.
I'm like, all right, well, here's to Mr. Strawberry.
We had a Juju Bits in the Marine Corps in boot camp, I remember. So I'm
go.
sure there's a strawberry out there somewhere.
Yeah, Daryl Strawberry.
Not a baseball veteran. Military veteran. Come on. Wow, that's...
I was worried about this one being too sweet.
Strawberry.
And it's not
I
at
go
all.
strawberry shortcake.
Yeah,
ish.
it's
I get the almost. I don't know. For me, I get the strawberry. Feel a little pastry.
I get
taste,
the pastry out of there. I think.
But maybe that's just the cloudiness, because it's got some cloudiness to it on the but
a little bit of the oats.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's where I'm getting some of the pastry.
Yeah.
It's like a strawberry shortcake kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I can definitely see in this being a big crossover for.
Oh yeah, that's got to be an easy transition one.
I love that aroma.
The aroma's there. Yeah, you got to get a strawberry aroma out of that too.
Yeah,
Are
so
you
we
running strawberries or a strawberry puree?
So that's aseptic fruit we buy, and then that way, because they cut down on any type of infection or anything like that, and then put that over in the secondary after fermentation's done, and then let it ferment off again.
Yeah, that's spectacular. It's got a good body to it. Nose is spectacular, spot on. Good bit of lace. I mean, look at there's even good proper lacing, coming off the glass. That's awesome.
So this is very popular with new people that come in. They'll say, I'm a whiskey guy, or I'm a wine gal, and what can I go with? And so we offer them something like this, and then boom, fish on.
Oh yeah, fish on hook.
Pull. I always talk about that because I think that's a huge. I think wine drinkers, are a big crossover for craft beer because there's so many different variations in the flavors. And I think it's easier for a wine connoisseur to really get involved with the craft beer industry and
Right,
Something
yeah.
like this would be,
I think they also lean. I at least from the ones I've seen, they kind of lean towards the fruitier beers though too.
At
Just
least
because
at
they
first.
naturally lean towards it's
Right.
grapes and
Right.
oh yeah, that's something I can grab hold of. I don't see a lot of them hard transitioning over to like straight up IPAs, from a wine drinker.
Right.
But you get a nice transition one, and they might learn but they appreciate the idea of different palate, components.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yep.
My dad used to. My dad. You said you brew wine. Do you brew wine at all or no?
Growing up, I did that with my father.
Oh, it was Larry.
Larry did wines and meads,
grew.
yeah.
He did wines and stuff.
Yeah, he
too.
does a little bit. Mead.
He does everything.
Yeah,
he
he's
said,
everywhere, right?
Yeah.
We used to have. My dad used to make wine in the basement. And we lived on Washington and Arlington, in downtown Irvington, basically. And I remember in the middle of our yard, we had a giant friggin' grapevine that I'd always have to go out and trim and all that. And there was one night, I think he had everything down there, and he did something wrong with his fermentation and everything, but you just heard an explosion from the basement. You go down there and just a couple of the glasses are bought, but most of it was, I don't know what he was doing with, I think he was like topping them with balloons or whatever. I'm not sure what. I have to talk to him again. He's about it, but it was like using balloons to cap off so that it could vent off a little bit and not explode.
Right.
But apparently the yeast really took hold, and just the balloons were exploding too. He blew a couple of them were over. Something was going on that he had actually sealed, and the other ones were balloons. So you just heard pop, pop, pop.
It sounds like a mess.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. I'm not even sure if I ever really snuck any of that wine. I can't really recall it. I drank a lot of their beers. I know I was notorious for stealing his beers as a kid. I was. We lived in Germany for a few years.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's where I started when I was like 3.
Easy transition. Yeah.
So I've been drinking, and then I quit drinking beer for like 20 years. Well, no, it was like 10. Well, growing up, but then I never drank beer. Kids growing up drink beer. I kind of stopped. I didn't drink anything, and then
I did that in grade school. I'm done.
And at age 14, my parents were out of town, and my brother had a party, and I wanted to try to drink with the big boys. And I think I had a 6-pack and a 40 in about 2 hours, and I'm 14 and I weigh 100 pounds. And so I almost died that night because they threw me in the shower and just turned on the water and didn't realize I was covering up the drain hole. So I didn't touch beer for like 10 years after that.
You chalk that up as a lesson learned, right?
Yeah, I stuck to whiskey.
Not a very good lesson.
No, not a very good lesson. But yeah, it took me a long time to be able to not vomit smelling, not feel like I got to throw up smelling beer again. All right.
What are we digging
awesome.
into
I don't know.
next?
We're good. That's
I love
Strawberry
that.
Blonde. That is clean, refreshing, and spectacular.
It's a beautiful day out, so it's a good straight summer.
Strawberry is awesome. I mean, it's got the nose is there, and it's just on point without being too much.
Well, I liked about this one, and even you didn't want a big fan of your own raspberry, the whip, but I like it because some places, they get the get the syrupiness kind of and the sweetness, and I love the flavors here because they're there and the aroma's there and the punch is there, but you're not getting the sweetness out of them.
Yeah, so there's
really
no
work.
syrup in here.
Yeah, they really work. Yeah,
These are going to be. I see these as being great with the upcoming spring and summer.
Yeah,
I mean, those are just clean, refreshing beers to have.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
All right, we're going to I think
are we going to the Jim Butts?
Jim Butts.
Jim
All
Butts.
right.
So fallen veteran from Chesterton.
Okay.
So we named this beer after him.
Awesome. What kind of beer is this?
This is a Citra Pale Ale.
Citra Pale Ale. Okay.
All right, cheers to Jim Butts.
Cheers, Jim.
I get another nice big aroma. It's
Ooh.
that's delicious.
Wow. That is smooth and fruity, and that dries out quick. What fruit is that I'm tasting, though? I feel like a fruit there.
That's all from the Citra hops.
Wow. That's actually very good because I'm not a... No, it's a Citra. I'm okay. What's the piney one? Always horrible.
Well, you get the...
What's the piney hop?
Like a Centennial? Or
Centennials are the ones that,
Yeah.
Centennial, I don't do Centennials very well.
Yeah.
I'm not big on
Not
the
your
pine.
cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea on the pine.
Yeah, here's a spruce in your beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I've had, there is a beer from Black Circle spruce and juice, I believe, is what it was, and it has spruce tips in it.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly good.
It's good.
But it's not the Centennial hop kind of thing. But there's actual spruce stuff in there.
Yeah.
And it was amazingly strange.
I love gin. I love the pineness and the juniper out of a gin, but I don't like it in my beer usually, which is odd. But
but that one worked. But that one worked.
Yeah,
if you get the chance to get down to like South Broad Ripple, Black Circle's got some really good stuff, and they do some really interesting things.
I'll have to check them out on date night.
I'm telling you what, Jim Butts is crushable.
Jim Butts is that is a crushable beer.
Isn't that delicious? I tell you, that's
Ryan. What do you think?
Fantastic.
Yeah, me too. I'm all in on that.
That is clean. That is pretty.
That is really delicious.
I'm hoping he's drinking the right one. So
he is.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is awesome. That's really good.
We did that one on one show, and I'm not going to name the brewery, but we sat there drinking. We're like, this is spectacular. Oh my god, how is this like a 12%er? Because there was no chewiness, no nothing. And we did the whole show. It was like, that is spectacular. Boom. And then we finally got off the show, and they tell us, oh, we had the wrong beer capped on the wrong. They crossed the lines on the.
We kept saying, it's like, there's no
there's
way.
no
the
way
like,
this is a 12%.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there's so many things that can go wrong, right? If it can, it will.
It was so weird. I'm like, because if this is a 12%er, people are going to die at this point, because I'll crush 2 pints of that and be dead.
I had to edit all that out because like we're gonna look like jackasses.
Yeah,
if someone listens to that and we're talking about this beer, then they go in there and have it. That's not even so. But it was fun. I know this is absolutely fantastic. Now this, you said you just named this one. Have you been doing this? This is a really fat. I mean,
this is one of my first recipes.
Okay,
and just a very, very enjoyable beer, and I like it. It's partial to me. And I know if I build or brew a good beer, my girlfriend, love of my life, super, super awesome lady. But if the keg dries up in a couple days, I know I'm on to something.
Right, exactly.
Yes. I'll come home from work and be like, oh, there's nothing, Yeah. So that was a good one, hun.
Yeah. No, not at all. Don't ever do that again. That's horrible. Yeah, no, that's an easy system to do. Yay, look, it only lasted 2 days.
Oh, that's awesome. You get definitely the sweetness there, but that's just a beautiful.
I would think there's a fruit in there in the beginning. I would think it's like an orange or some, but it's a perfectly balanced Citra hop without being over hopped. That's because if it's over, too much, then it gets a little too, and it's just got enough little bit of dryness on the back end, a little bit of bitter.
Yep. Yeah.
And fish is good.
We try to brew this quite a bit just because the support from the community, everybody knows.
Sure. Everybody knows Jim.
Yeah, and people come in, they want to drink it. However, at the end of October there, unless you was on a contract, you run out of Citra hops. We couldn't get them. So,
oh wow.
People were coming in and saying, hey, when are you going to brew Jim the Butts next? And we just couldn't do it. We couldn't get the ingredients.
Well, yeah. You're not going to try to, and you want to. Do you have a specific where hops you get from, or are you trying to source local at all? I mean, as much as possible, obviously.
As much as possible, but then that doesn't always work out right. And so, we try to support all the local small people first, and then go out.
But sometimes you got to get where you got to get.
Oh, absolutely.
And to try to keep the quality right too.
Exactly.
You don't want to necessarily start testing out new hops, or anything on something without, and then just
Yeah, it's different if we're practicing or experimenting with something, but if you're putting out a beer that people like to drink, then
it better be consistent.
It better be repeatable.
Imagine that.
And the only thing that's not repeatable for us is our mango hob, and that has to do with those habaneros.
You don't know the pepper, You don't know what you're going to get out of it. So it's hard to regulate. So.
I don't know. With my IQ, there's no way to test the hotness level of, or at least we don't have the instrumentation to get that done, right? So so sometimes it'll be a little bit hotter, and sometimes not as much, and the customers will let us know. They'll say, last batch was just a little bit
hot
or
a little too hot. Yeah.
So
we're brewing. Jordan had started. Jordan's one of the other pigs. He couldn't make it. But we're brewing. We like hot pepper beers. We love pepper beers.
Habanero and not a green pepper though.
Not big on green peppers.
Yeah.
Jalapenos primarily. I've had some. There's been people have tried like some poblanos, and some other roasted ones where
that's
they're
a little bit different.
A little bit different, but like a straight jalapeno beer, I will tell you,
there's something about the greeny. There's something about that.
It's too green.
I don't know. There's something odd about it that I've never
weird
connect to, but yeah.
But we love Carolina Reaper beers. Yeah. If you can make just a suggestion.
That could be dangerous.
Oh, so
is.
Jordan brewed one actually at the house because he's actually growing Carolina Reaper peppers. and it actually very good. He put in literally a half a pepper in a 5-gallon, and you're handling that with gloves and glasses.
That's where you wash your hands before you pee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or just don't even touch anything and free.
Just go out
free
back.
willy. Yeah, just
go out
back. Don't worry about aiming at anything. Just. But Carolina Reaper beer, surprisingly, they have a really good complex flavor to them. Don't need to be, again, not a lot, but if you start drinking the beer, the heat actually just starts to build up around. It doesn't burn or anything. Everything gets warm.
Gets there, gets your
They're really
tingly
cool.
on your lips, and but it's a good flavor.
He wants to brew like a four horsemen of the apocalypse beer, though. Like Carolina Reaper, Scorpion, Ghost Pepper, and a habanero.
Just blow out your palate.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate.
Well, not really your palate, but
everything.
Come on, ice cream.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I'm not. That one scares me a little bit.
Yeah, you got to try it.
Yeah, of course.
Who knows?
All right, where are we going next, sir? On our train of
we're
beers.
going to the this is the
Logan Strong?
Yep, Logan.
Right, so what kind of beer?
And this is the hazy, right?
Yeah, hazy IPA. What do we say? Northeastern? What do we call this?
Northeastern.
Northeastern.
Yes, that's fine. Either one, as long as you don't say the term New England.
Yeah, right. So that's banned now in the brewery.
Yes.
We don't speak of that monkey business. This beer, all our beers either have that we're waiting for a name to give them, or they have a military or somewhat of a military name. This beer is our only non-military beer, named after my niece, who just beat Hodgkin's lymphoma at the age of 15.
Congratulations.
So that was a great
Congrats.
Christmas present. We got that December 16th.
Awesome.
Yeah, cheers to Logan.
Yes,
Cheers to
to
Logan.
God, it's just another. I know you're not going to like this one as much because of the hop in it, are you?
Nope.
I can tell.
No, it's good.
I think it's delicious. I mean, it's a great. All these beers have been spotted. Just the balance, I think, is there. But I can tell the hop.
They're all really clean.
Yeah,
Right.
super clean. But I know the hop is going to bug you. I can.
Yeah, it's a
Get
bit piney. It feels a little piney to
Yep.
me. But again, it's still balanced.
No, I think this. I think people would love this.
Right.
I
Yeah,
just
so
know
like Simcoe, Mosaic.
Simcoe.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, got some Columbus and some Nelson in there.
Yeah, so the Simcoe and Mosaic stuff, yeah.
Now, see, I love Mosaic. It's one of my favorite. I love the single Mosaic. Those are some of my
But isn't
favorite.
that the one that like makes your allergies go crazy?
No, not Mosaic. Thank God. No,
Okay.
it doesn't. That
Keep trying to remember which one is, because he's got allergies.
Simcoe and Centennial will actually.
Centennial does
but-
the same thing,
yeah.
yeah. Centennial, he'll all of a sudden his face will just kind of get red.
I'll keep drinking
Some
them.
of it. He'll still drink, but because it just looks like he's drunk at that point, which he might be, but his sinuses get all.
I just blame it on the
Yeah.
just blame it on the hop.
And
He's
we
drunk. It's just the hop.
we use the Voss Kvik yeast in this guy. so-
Okay, awesome.
No, isn't Mosaic? Isn't that another one that's starting to get hard to get? I thought Mosaic was. One
We,
of the
we
ones
haven't
that
had
are-
any issues.
Okay, I thought I
But
heard that was
we're
one of the ones that
small
was getting
scale, too.
hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I read something somewhere. Not
You're trying to brew a bigger batch and trying to get larger quantities. But yeah, I can't remember. Some of them were, but it was the
I
Citra
thought
mainly.
that was one that was getting hard to find or hard to get for some reason, but maybe not.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
But I'm starting to see more and more of the mosaics around, and there's some reason just even the single mosaic hops. They've been some really one of my favorite
It gives
IPAs.
a good
that we
yeah,
had.
it gives a good,
Yeah.
it gives a really good flavor to it.
It's a
I
great
like it.
flavor. It's citrusy, but yet it's it's smooth and a little bit of sweetness to it. But
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah, so this is one of our staples that folks like it. And
Yeah.
they expect it on quite a bit. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can see that, especially as
yeah.
someone coming in and trying IPAs, that this is a perfect one to not explode them with 150 IBUs.
Right.
And, yeah.
And
Really
now,
nice.
are you? I know you said you do stouts and stuff, right?
Yes.
Is Aaron like a hophead or anything, or is
no,
you?
I have I'm a well-rounded as far. I don't know if there's any beer style I do not like.
Right.
If I drank stouts all day, I'd be taller laying down than I was standing
Well,
up.
yeah.
So you better find something else to
True.
drink, right?
Yes. Yep.
And,
Yes.
and so that's why I try to make a good recipe all the way through the styles.
Right.
And there are a lot of people that come in and they don't like stouts at all, or they don't even like IPAs. So you better have
Sure.
something for them to drink, otherwise
Yeah.
they're going to go down the road.
All right.
Have you found any styles? You're not. I'm not a big the barley wines. I'm not a big fan of the barley wines.
Not a fan of the barley wines.
I've had a couple that I'm
too hot.
Definitely.
Or?
I don't know. It may be. There's just something about the barley wines I haven't been able to get into.
Something in the flavor for the same reason. I don't know. It's something in the nose that gets me.
I don't know.
Especially they tend to be awfully hot. The high grav.
Definitely.
And they get to be
hot.
syrupy.
Right.
As you get chewy at that high ABV, and it's something in my palate for the same reason I don't like Brett sours.
Okay.
I don't like Brett. I don't like Brett. There's a funk there.
It's different.
It's the wrong kind of funk for me.
Right.
I love the Brett
and it's
funk.
it's somewhere on the exhale at the top of the palate when I drink it and then exhale out. Something just gets me right there. It's like those one. I think we had one long time ago where none of us could drink it. I don't even know. It was a sour of some kind, but I don't know if it was a Brett. But basically, on the exhale, it just smelled like vomit.
Yeah.
Little off-putting.
Yeah. So that beer doesn't agree with you.
No, not at all.
Or anybody around.
And of course, us being guys, I'm like, this is awful. Try this.
Yeah.
I want you to experience the same crap that I just had to do.
So that's beer is a lot like food, right? You could sit down. Some people may like asparagus, and other people can't stand
cilantro.
it. Yeah. Or cilantro.
Yeah.
It's an easy one. Cowboy can't stand it.
Every beer cannot be bacon.
No.
Right.
Well, it could be if you put bacon in it.
Right.
It's trtrue.
And that's why I like Rauch beers, though, because Rauch beers taste like bacon.
Yeah.
You got to try it. If you get to
Primeval.
to Noblesville, Primeval, they have a spectacular Rauch beer. Have you had that before?
No, I have
You
not.
haven't had that style?
No.
It's a smoky beer. It's a smoky, salty. It's a dark beer, but it's smoky. They're super smoked oats.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do well.
Hard to do well.
Primeval just nails it.
I mean, it goes good with barbecue and stuff because it's got that smokiness in it already. It's kind of like drinking a beer over a charcoal fire.
Really? Where are they at?
It's downtown Noblesville. Primeval Brewing. They're really good.
They're new.
How
Brand
far
new.
from here?
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours.
Yeah.
But
Date
great
night
stop.
with a hotel stay.
Of course.
Yeah. But great
Yeah.
people and great beer, great German beer. But that Rauch beer, it's just delicious. Again,
It's
a good smoked beer is awesome, but they're hard to find.
Very
good
hard to
because
find.
So many people just don't do them well.
And
it's got to be a hard. We've never played with it. It's got to be a difficult beer, but they just nailed it. It's
Yeah.
a great German.
not a common one you see around, but
Right
it's really nice when you can get one. So, but
Nice.
yeah, you should try that.
Now you ever thought about? You probably not around here, but you even thought about playing with sours? Is that something you've been?
Not yet, and the reason being, you need all your hoses then are dedicated for sours, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to watch our money spending wisely.
Of course.
And the biggest thing is getting our kitchen up and rolling. Which we're pretty much there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so now the brewery, now we're going to reinvest everything for the
But
brewery.
also the brewing of it, you almost want to buy another warehouse to brew the
it
sours
seems
in
kitsch
to
right now.
avoid.
I mean, people really want to play with sours. I mean, it's another undertaking to take on doing sours.
Completely.
But
You almost have to have a separate system that you're not going to mix with.
Right.
And really invest in, I'm going to do these. But, you can sometimes gauge it too once you get get a guest tap of some sours on and see how they sell. It just may not be something in the area that they like either. So yeah. But yeah, it's sours and it's a summer beer for me. It's always been a summer beer. It's not a winter thing for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Christmas
feel
sour,
right. It doesn't feel right. Yeah. Can I have a Christmas sour, please? My holiday sour. All right, where are we at now?
That's
This should be the cask.
Is it really? That's not, is it?
No.
No, it can't be. I think
This
the
is
cask
the-
is right here.
I think that was your strong. No.
No.
This.
Oh no, that's the medic.
This got to be the medic.
That's the medic.
Medic.
Yep. We're going with that.
Yeah.
Yep. The one with a little bit of head on it. So are we doing the medic or the cask?
Let's do the medic.
All right,
I
we're
want
doing the
I'm
medic.
saving that cask.
Okay. All right, so we're rolling with the medic.
The aroma's really. Oh wow, completely different. The
kind of
aroma
beer-
is
what kind of
real
beer
light,
is it?
but then the flavor hits you.
Kind of beer?
This is
it's a red double IPA.
it's a
I was
double,
going to
right?
go with a red. I was about ready to go. There's a red here somewhere.
So it has some Magnum, some Centennial, some Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some sweetness there.
Yeah.
There is some sweetness on that. Again, nose is you're just kind of like, oh, it's just going to be a beer.
Yeah.
And then the flavor profile on the front, just woo.
Really nice.
So this is another one that people require that we have on a lot of the time. It's
yeah.
not on all the time, but
I can see this being dangerous because I don't think you realize that's a potent beer.
it is.
That is a very potent beer.
But I could see people slamming this because it's an easy drinker.
Yeah, it's coming in at almost 9%.
Ooh, yeah, I could definitely see people.
I can feel that on the exhale. I can feel the alcohol there on the exhale
Right, and
part.
you definitely get that sweetness, but it's so well balanced that you don't. This would be scary because I think people would
not
slam
chewy.
this not knowing that it's
It's not chewy at all.
No, not whatsoever. And there's a lot of great depth and flavor and complexity in that. That's really nice.
And the IBUs are rather low. We're just under 60 on this guy.
Yeah.
Sure, and well balanced. I mean, you can't really. I didn't really. I thought it was more of a red or a strong ale or something, but I didn't realize it was an IPA because it's got, and especially a double. There's not a lot of bitterness to me on the back end. The sweetness and the high grav, I think, cover up the bitterness at least with the alcohol dryness. Maybe
don't you find that we're really backing off of that bitterness thing, right?
Yes.
We're really dropping
a
off
lot
of that.
and yes, yours are good IPAs and all that without a heavy bitterness, and that's kind of why I asked about some of your IPAs and do you plan on triple hopping and super hopping, and are you a hop head at all, really? And granted, if someone who likes stouts is not usually a hop head.
Well, I guess a hop head could go two different ways, right? We can go towards the bitterness side, or we can go towards flavor and aroma. And so that
there's a lot of bass coming from somewhere. But yeah, no, yes, that's exactly. It's because and thankfully we've talked about it before. There are some people. There's some places who do that's their thing, hop all day long.
Yeah, you love what you love, right?
And that's fine. I'm glad that a lot of places started to back off some of that after a while. More rounded out, good style, easy, good beers, that weren't just complete.
I think when the craft, 10 years ago when it really hit Indiana.
Well, craft beer was
the hop head thing was. I mean, the hops.
Well, the IPA was
huge.
the craft beer. That was the craft beer.
Right.
That's what people made was IPAs.
Right. And so everybody was doing these huge, 100, just really cramming as much hops and bitterness in those beers. And people still love them. There are people that just love them. But you're starting to see them, back off. It was hard. There was a couple of times you go into some places and that's all they had were IPAs on. That's all they had.
Yeah.
And heavy, hoppy.
9-10
10%
IPAs. And I'm going.
But starting to see that and people get more real balanced now.
But to me,
and I think a lot of it too is starting to see a lot more people doing the lagers and starting to see German beers come around.
Yeah.
And so I think that's good for us because not a big hop head, but that craze has died.
But like
out,
but like I said, when I was younger, when technically craft beer was starting, and I didn't really pay attention to this 10 years ago, but I knew what craft beer was, and craft beer was IPA. That was the synonymous. Oh, you want a craft beer? No, I don't want all that hops and stuff. That was a craft beer. That's all it meant. There weren't craft stouts. There weren't craft lagers. There weren't. It was, that's a craft beer. That's going to be all kinds of hoppy. No, I don't want that. Give me a Miller Lite.
Yep.
Yeah. Give me something to rinse my palate.
Right.
It was almost opposite in Michigan, where it was when the craft hit. It was more of it was porters and stouts was the craze because, that was what the big thing. So Founders and Bells were all doing Bells. I mean, those were the big beers then.
Well, I was living
Indiana hit when it hit Indiana. It was more the IPA. So it's kind of cool, even just being that close. But
I was in Arizona, and to be honest, stouts weren't really a drink I drank a lot.
Well, in Arizona, it's 150. You're not
yes,
gonna,
I'm not. 9 months out of the year, it was 9, 10, 11 months out of the year. It's 100 degrees, so I'm not really
hot. Let's go get a nice stout.
I do remember originally moving out there, and my drink of choice at the time was Black and Tans. But again, I took a dark beer and I kind of thinned it out a little bit because it's hot. There's nothing refreshing about drinking a good old stout on a hot day.
Mowing the sand.
I might as well just. I'm going to go walk out and mow the yard with a gallon of milk.
It's a dry. It's a dry heat. No, it's fucking hot.
Spectacular, very well rounded out. Nothing's been off-putting. Everything's got a nice, clean, balanced flavor. To be up and running this fast, and still being able to produce quality, large, different variations of beers. Hats off to you on this so far.
Yeah,
thank you. Well, our transition though wasn't all that big. We ramped up from 5-10 gallon batches to 1 barrel. So
no, but I mean, even getting the place open and getting things and everything tuned in enough to be able to brew the beers. I guess that's more I was pushing. You said it only took you a year to get out,
right?
To get this thing up and running, which is
crazy. I mean, sometimes when the place opens up, it's booming right at the beginning. Sometimes, and it kind of mellows out a bit. Then you have your big nights, and the weekend nights are big at a brewery. And we usually go into breweries in the afternoons on Saturday because, especially when we're traveling, because that's the best time. During the week, we'll do Tuesdays in Indy because that's it's not packed usually. So on the weekends when we're traveling, we usually pick Saturday afternoons because it's usually not so busy. We walked into a packed house.
Yeah.
It was already packed here. It was already packed here, and that's usually we don't see that. So I mean, hats off. I was kind of shocked when I walked in. I was like, "Holy cow!"
Hats off to the town of Chesterton.
I know it wasn't the pigs bringing them in; it was the beer. So I mean, that really 6 months in, and you guys are packed. When you guys are open on a Saturday afternoon, that's tough for a brewery.
Yeah, it's
to keep those going. I mean,
the community support that we get is tremendous. It really is.
Yeah. But you have great beer, so I can see why they're coming.
Yep. All right, we're going to roll through the last couple, and then I'm going to go take a nap.
That was awesome. I think we'll do the.
We're going to go straight dark.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the Wreck-'em and then back to the cask, or are we going to go cask and then Wreck-'em?
Let's let. I don't know which we do. I don't know.
Well, do you guys? I'll pour you a full pint of the cask. We can get that.
Oh
done.
no! I was just about the order. What do you think?
Let's go with the cask.
Yeah. So
right.
yeah.
Well, let's go with this cask because I've been dying to get into it.
His brown.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our brown ale. We poured this last weekend at Winterfest. However, it was 8 degrees out and the wind was whipping, so it wasn't coming out at 56 degrees. It was
a little
it had ice crystals in it.
Yeah, brown ales and the stouts and all that are good to warm up a little bit. It's kind of hard to warm up your beer when you have gloves on and it's -40.
That is amazingly light and frothy and holy
it's
cow!
It's been sitting here for 20 minutes and there's actually still a head on it.
So it's not carbonated.
That is.
That's just so it's an uncarbonated beer.
Ooh,
and this is off your beer engine.
That's off the beer engine.
You have an actually good classic beer engine.
Right.
That is. It's creamy but super light. And holy cow! I was not expecting that out of that.
Yeah. So
really light.
When pouring this beer, people are really afraid to get a beer from that old-fashioned beer engine.
I love old-fashioned beer engines. They're spectacular.
But there are some people that love it, so that's not why we keep it on.
I mean, that's really the only way. In my opinion, that's really the only way you should pour some beers.
Very true.
Stout, or, things like that. You just get the right kind of cascade. Yep. It's perfect. Wow, that is light. That's dangerous. I'm going to say again.
The mouthfeel in that is just so. I don't even know how to describe it. It's to me, it's like frothy and just. Yeah, you could just
almost like a nitro feel.
A little bit, I think. That's what I mean. But it's just because it's so. There's a creaminess to it. And
it's adding. It's making me think of peanut butter, but not. In my just the frothiness of it and the way it's the difference, the way the different adds the bubbles to it without the straight up carbonation. I feel like a little peanut butter on there. I feel like a little peanut something on there. But that's
nutty.
my palate.
There's definitely nuttiness.
And
in
it's
there
clean. It this drinks like I would drink this like water.
Yeah.
Another
dangerously good beer.
What's the ABV on this one?
4.9.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's going to be dangerous.
That's
all of a sudden I'm going to down 2 pints of that, and
that's a good dangerous one because the
little bit better a little less dangerous than
the 9%er.
Than the 9%er
because that was crushable too. They've all been crushed, but at least this one you can crush and feel good.
But not worry that you're going to go blind from the out. Yeah. Call this one white. This is not white light. No, I don't want to call it brown lightning. That would be.
That's
a great color. The color's good.
This would be
color's good.
That's an easy all-day drinker. Just
of course. Yeah. Wow. So how was it at 8 degrees though?
It was very thick.
Did it really thicken up a ton?
Our lines were freezing up.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was
I didn't
awful.
even think about it. So which fest was this one? Because
It
there were
was,
like 4 different winter.
let's see, what was that? Shelf ice.
Shelf ice. Okay.
Shelf
So
ice.
we was right at the beginning. We had nobody blocking the wind for us, and it was it was rough.
Damn it,
Yeah,
Clark.
I wouldn't even have thought of that. Your lines could. Oh Jesus. Yeah. You kind of got to insulate your lines on
Yeah,
a place
at 8.
like that.
So we was all the brewers were sharing the torpedo heater, thawing out. Oh, we're down to a dribble. Hey, bring it over here.
We'll just take the 9%er and light it on fire.
I think, was it last year, the shelf? I think it was like 50 degrees the year before. or
Yeah, the
something.
first one
So
was
you never
like,
know what you're going to get.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. Yeah, but no, it was a great. We had 3,500 people, I believe, show up to that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so and just everybody's so pleasurable. You go to those things.
Would you be surprised? Because I would be. I probably wouldn't go to those. I feel like I would not be good at one of those events because it would be cold and I would be angry and I'd just
you'd
be
make
like,
everybody else miserable. And,
they know me.
It was
This
tough.
is stupid. This is ridiculous.
And the line to the porta potty was tremendous. So it was, yeah.
Dear.
Oh,
The hole in the ice.
Yeah. Is it here, fishy?
Yeah.
that's a crazy beer.
That comes off awesome on that beer engine.
I think so. Yeah,
That's
it just
great.
It works. Yeah, it's perfect. It kills me the depth, the darkness, but just the lightness of that. Just
The lightness of the drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's opposite from the previous one where the nose was fooling and then you drank it and it was
Right.
just
This is
complex
the
and full bodied.
yeah.
So-
This one, the nose is great, but it's nice. It's still light and easy going down. So completely opposite.
I love beer. I transition off of coffee. I go to beer.
Right.
So you can't slam these Wreckham Beckhams all day, right? So you need to just dial it back.
Says
You'd be
Says
surprised.
who?
You got the pigs in town here.
So we're gonna move on to our last taste test.
Oh God!
We're saving this one for the end. This is the
This is the end.
this is the donut beer, right?
This is the donut beer. So this is the Wreckham Beckham, 12.5%, 90 IBUs. A fella walked in to the brewery a couple days after I got the keys here. We was in demo. He said, "I understand you're doing a thing for veterans." I said, "That's correct." He said, "Well, if that's the case, then I want to help here." And I was a little nervous at that. Who walks into somebody's establishment and says, "I want to help you"? So I was very nervous about that. Come to find out, he's a Vietnam vet.
Okay.
We become great friends. His name's John Beckham. And so the deal was, though, that I could never mention his name working here.
You just did.
Oops. So anyway,
do we need to edit that?
No, we're good. So anyway, when it finally comes, he didn't want any notoriety. He's a very humble man. So when we opened up, I put on the USS Midway. It just so happens to be his ship. And so he called me over and he said, "Hey, Vern, I thought we had a deal." I said, "Yeah, we did." And I complied. I never mentioned anything about you. And he said, "The USS Midway." And I said, "That's your ship." I said, "You didn't say anything about your ship, John." And so anyway, he got a giggle out of it. But I begged him for a long time. I said, "John, I want to do a beer after you." That man has thousands of hours in this brewery.
Yeah.
And so I finally told him, I said, "John," I said, "I'm going to name a beer after you. We can make it now while you can enjoy it, or, later on when you can't give me any grief." And so he finally gave me permission, and
Awesome.
so this is the beer for him.
See, that's spectacular.
Absolutely.
That's an awesome story.
So let's cheers,
I
John.
love stories
And,
like that.
Cheers, John. And
Cheers.
all the help you
Cheers.
put into this place. Holy cow!
It renews your faith in the human condition.
Yeah.
That there actually are people out there who just want something to do and want to help and do something. That's
And we've had so much support like that. 30, 40 people walk in here and drink me dry. 8 kegs dry in a day, but the work we got done was tremendous. Really was. Aaron was. They had him hopping back then because he was brewing 5 gallons at a time.
Well, hell, if you can pay them in beer, though, that's
Right?
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
That's hey, and the walls are square. You're good.
See? So this has almost 200 pounds per barrel of grain,
Holy
and then
crap.
6 dozen donuts per barrel.
This tastes like breakfast.
Yes, it does.
It does. It tastes a lot like breakfast. Although my breakfast usually has a lot more whiskey in it.
This is really. you think a 12%er, you're gonna get some.
This is 12.
Yes.
12, yeah,
yes.
12.5.
There's
yeah.
again, you definitely feel the 9 or 10, but not a 12.
But the 12%er, this should be pouring like syrup. This should be chewy.
There's nothing chewy in this at all. It's
sticky,
really
syrupy,
nice.
right?
That's
Ryan, I mean, you're not getting syrupy stickiness off of it, are you?
not at all.
No, that's the thing. The sweetness is not there.
It's clean. It's dry. It's got a nice dry finish to it.
This is delicious.
Wow.
Yeah. Again,
12?
it's so well balanced. You would never guess that's a 12%.
Okay, so just to be sure, because we told that story earlier, you didn't cross lines. did you?
No, we did not cross
All
lines
right,
on
okay.
this. This is
This
definitely
is
the
definitely a
Reckenbeck.
pastry stout. You definitely get the donuts in there. I mean,
You sure
can
this
taste
isn't the
that.
one off the beer engine, right? No.
No, it's there. I mean that there's sweet.
I feel like
in
you
there,
could
but
put
it's
this
so-
in a. I feel like you could put this in a whiskey barrel and it would be my breakfast.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so we're gonna do
Look
that
at that.
next.
There he goes.
We're gonna do that next. Aaron's getting us another batch rolling.
Donuts and whiskey.
We got a barrel up there on in the corner there that we got from. Oh, geez, what's the distillery right up here in Michigan?
Journeyman.
Journeyman. So went up, picked up a couple barrels, couple bourbon barrels from them.
Perfect.
So
Silver Cross was that? Which? Just do you remember? Do you know which one was in it?
I would have to look.
Okay.
No, I don't remember off the top
Who
of my head.
cares? It's
Okay, yeah.
Journeyman. Everything in Journeyman's delicious, so you're not going to go wrong
Like,
there.
who cares? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Because this.
You need the bacon strips there with this. That would be
Oh yeah,
just
a little bit of bacon.
man.
Basically this is my version of a Bloody Mary. Bacon, some pickles. I can't drink Bloody Marys, but this is a great This is a great Sunday morning beer. You know that is wow.
This is good any morning beer.
True.
That's
and
awesome.
it's not. This is not lip service. I'm in awe because again, we drink high gravs a lot. We're especially
But I expect
Dougie and I
things out of
expect
a
some
10 to
chewiness.
12.
I expect a little sweetness, and I couldn't. You definitely couldn't crush more than a sniffer of most 12%ers.
Right.
This is sneaky. I could easily go a pint of this without realizing.
So to pull back on that a little bit, we're mashing in right around 149, 150, right in that range. Keep those complex sugars down low, and I think that thins it out just a small.
Yes, but you still keep your ABVs up.
Yeah.
Without that syrupiness. That is
But
so
if you
common.
if you taste it out of the fermenter without it being aged at all, it's boozy. It takes a while for it to come down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be
But usually out of the 12%, you can usually get that booziness right out of the aroma. You can definitely tell this is so well balanced that you're getting that out of the
enough.
aroma, and it just goes down smooth. It's great.
So in our mash tun doesn't hold all the grain, so we have to mash in twice.
Oh, really?
And then boil off once.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it works.
Yeah, it works.
It works spectacularly. What kind of donuts are you allowed to say?
So we won't say the actual name where we got the donuts, but there's chocolate glazed and regular glazed in there as well.
Gotcha.
So, but
I actually like those beers. I mean, some people get a little. That's just kind of it's a kitsch beer or whatever. But sometimes those are done right. Pastry beers are done right.
It's like anything else. I mean,
Guardian up in Muncie, they do. They throw pies in their beer.
Nice.
They have a sugar cream. Their sugar cream pie beer,
right,
is
crazy,
spot on.
Now this might change a little bit because the owners of Octave Grill, Sylvia, awesome people. They're phenomenal people. We're going to be using their donuts now. They're opening up in a donut shop in their old place. So we'll partner with them.
It'll tweak it a little bit, but as long as your brew process is the same, the donuts, will just add maybe a different slight flavor to it, but hopefully it'll keep, it's not going to be super sticky sweet. It's going to maintain its consistency anyway. So that's awesome.
It's gonna be, that's great beer.
That is that's a breakfast beer. What time do you guys open?
During the week we open at 3, close at 10.
Oh, well, I can have breakfast at 3.
So Saturday and Sunday we open up at 11.
I can have breakfast at 11 or 3.
Right. A brisket taco.
Yes. Ooh, damn. Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That was a good finisher. That was spectacular. I'm glad we saved that one till last.
And I want to round this out. I saw mugs up there. Do you have a mug club?
We do have a mug club.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't know how it was going to take off, so we ordered 48 mugs. We're heavy America, right? That's our thing. So we try to source locally with everything. With that, we went with Gray Fox Pottery. They're right up in Wisconsin there. They're spinning those mugs from a bowl of clay. Pretty impressive.
Yep.
So we've been dealing with Mike. Overwhelming response with those, and so now we're putting in another order. So because some people are feeling a little bit left out, and so we got to get some more mugs.
I just bring in my own mug.
Yeah, fill this up.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's and I'd just like to say I appreciate you guys' support and everybody's support. We've raised, we're bumping on $17,000 is
Right.
where we're getting at, going back to nonprofit veteran-based charities,
That's
and that's
amazing.
because of everybody in the area that's supporting our veterans.
Yeah.
That's spectacular. Cheers to cheers to Chesterton Brewing.
Yes.
Cheers to the town of Chesterton.
Yes.
Or its city. Is it a city or town?
It's a town.
Okay, it is a
of
town. That's what I
Chesterton,
thought.
yeah.
Yep. So, well, you never know. It's
That's true.
know.
What is it? Population dependent?
It is, yeah.
Yep.
Because I grew up for part of the time in Fishers, back when Fishers was a town. Now
it's,
Fishers is a city.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're at 17,000 right now.
Yeah.
We're growing at a rate of. When I did my study before opening this up, I think we was growing at 500 per year or something. So it's on the swing. Up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a nice town.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's and the town seems to be awesome,
Yeah.
chipping in and helping out all the veterans.
We'll be pushing you guys because this is amazing. Great
Spectacular.
beers. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Nothing I didn't like. One that I was like, it's fine. But
Yeah, and that's why you're
like
not
them
going to
all.
like them all,
I'm
right?
not.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say. I mean, it's beer. I mean, everybody has their own favorites, but what I like here is that these are all, to me, these are all crushable. Even the high grass are crushable, which is scary. But just
Stupid.
delicious, and I love what you guys are doing. I love the community aspect and the veteran. I mean, so talking to you at South Bend, I knew this is a place we need to get into right away and support you guys. And as young as you are, I can't believe how well you guys are doing. And I think this is just gonna get bigger because this beer is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
So it's just gonna be.
And if you drink enough of these Reckenbeckhams, you actually learn Chinese.
We're going to be speaking it all the way back, but yeah, we're good. Yeah, absolutely. No, these are fantastic.
Spectacular,
Yeah.
man. Wow, yeah. Thanks, Vern. We appreciate your hospitality. And
Thank you so much, guys.
And we'll be back again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Touch my head again. Don't try, honey, or won't try just to hold me down again. Hold me down again. I can tell that you care. I can feel the true glare of a lady in love somewhere. Touch my head.